bitch.
I think so,
So basically, as you guys see the final bolt from Kree flying over and hitting this succubus, she boom, 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 and then starts to fall down to the ground. You begin to hear a very, very strange sound coming. Make a wisdom saving throw for me, Miriam.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck.
Oh fuck.
Let's just start with
I
Oh.
fucking failed.
Yeah.
So you,
Oh, good. Good start.
Get those out
your
of the way.
blood starts to rise. You start to hear this tantalizing noise coming towards you. You hear this door begin to open, and you turn over, and all of a sudden you see Torin burst open from a door, bottle in hand, slacks, sweatpants coating him, slicked back hair and a cap on with 3 lines of varying size on the front of him.
I didn't know Torin had hair.
Looking,
Now.
We got weird, like,
It's canon.
we got weird dread things.
he looks around, and you kind of just like, you feel the music hitting you, and you just start to fucking dance. You start. But then all of a sudden, you hear just like a and the record stops. And then you start to hear. And then Kree looks at the doorway.
Huh?
And then just you see
Kree, no!
her dissipate into mist. And you see the door.
Did Kree Misty step to Boys to Men?
Yes,
Like, what
she
just happened?
As she dissipates
Does
into
she
the
know?
door. You turn as you hear the as the body hits the ground. The 4 of you are now standing in an open clearing with the slowly disintegrating body of the succubus laying on the ground. What do you do?
I kick it.
As you do, you kick it and you see like you kind of like kick it in the leg and you see her leg kind of like, and then you see a couple like particles start to like float up and dissipate.
Check her pockets before she disappears, you idiot!
What? Oh. I'm still salty. I guess I check her pockets after Miriam yells at me.
So as you go and check her body, do an investigation check for me.
What's that based on? Oh.
Investigation? So you
And a
rolling
water.
a... Okay, just
Yeah.
have 2 d20s the same.
They do. Yeah, they're the same. 12.
12. You kind of search through her body and you notice her body starts to kind of like disintegrate as you're going and rifling through her things. You find a small knife kind of like tucked away in one of her pockets on the side, and you also find like on that same leg that you found like a golden anklet. Torin, what are you doing during this?
I'm back, bitches.
So,
What's happening?
how'd it go in the other... whatever that was?
I got in touch with my familial roots, so to speak.
Yeah, we can see that,
It's a
but...
golden anklet.
And as you're kind of like taking the anklet off and her foot just begins to dissipate, you kind of like do another once over to make sure nothing's there, and you see just a strange symbol start to begin to show on her forehead.
What is the... Does it bear any recognizable... Do I recognize it
Roll a
for
history
anything?
check for me.
History. I can
Hit those books, kid.
That'll be 10.
10, you have no idea what this is, but you see her body like start to dissipate, and it seems like the corrosion's like starting to center and move in towards the symbol on her forehead.
I lick my thumb and try to wipe it out.
I mean,
Nothing.
a little bit of flakes kind of dissipate, but that's about it. You kind of look at it and you see like, you know, kind of the like Thanos snap dust like kind of drift off your thumb, and you're like, oh, that's fucking weird.
Ash Wednesday.
Hey.
As you guys kind of all see Sylvis kind of doing this, Torin, go ahead and roll a religion check for me.
Where's my... There you are. Oh, a 2. Religion?
Or muscle relaxers, or...
A
I think we have IV
Negative
perception.
one.
I think it's better.
Something about that symbol seems familiar, but you just can't place it. And her body begins to continue to erode. She's kind of like at chest level and starting to dissipate.
Can I write down what the symbol is?
I'll
It's
say,
Torin.
yeah, I'll say go ahead and do a dexterity check to like quickly kind of jot down what you're seing as you're kind of fighting its time here to like rip out something to write these things on, like a piece of charcoal and a piece of parchment.
Check upstairs.
I mean, do you care
Hmm?
if I have anything to write?
Do you have anything to write with?
No, not really.
No, I'll tell you what. Do just a straight intelligence roll to see if you can memorize the symbol.
Okay.
Pretty sure I have writing materials. I'll have to double check.
Ooh, 13.
Not bad.
13.
Yeah.
You get a vague image of it, and enough that if you in the next few minutes kind of get something to write down what you see, you can do it before the body, as you see the body begins to slowly immolate and then dissipates.
Does anybody have a paper or something?
Oh, I do.
So Sylvis hands you whatever the fuck he has to write with and gives it to you.
Okay.
You kind of jot down what you see. You still, something's kind of like picking at the back of your brain. You're like, I've seen this symbol before, but I just cannot remember where right now. But you jot down the symbol, so go and write down that you have a strange symbol on a piece of paper.
Something about this symbol rings familiar to me. I can't put my claw on it.
What time is it?
It is about 3 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have been out on this excursion for about 3 days now, since you left Ascalon City. And it has also been about 2 weeks since you guys initially left out of line.
Oh shit, what?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I got a map now. We're like
Okay.
here somewhere. We backtracked a little bit.
You
Maybe
guys are
like
kind of that way a little bit,
that way.
about right there.
We're right here.
Wow.
We were supposed to be going over the wall.
You guys were investigating the Char Warband that were on the southern side of the Great Northern Wall.
Gotcha.
As you guys were, after you left with Olim, the succubus, and were trying to make your way back towards Ascalon City, leaving your horses and other equipment that you brought with you to get out here back at the camp that you guys found. You originally were investigating the cave under the waterfall.
Yeah, did anyone else remember that we had horses or anything?
I never remember that we have horses.
Because I don't remember jack shit about having a horse.
You guys had 3 horses that you purchased from the Ascalon City stables at about 200 gold on rental,
Oh, yeah.
and would receive about 75% of that on return. But you guys have traveled for about a full day, heading back in the direction of Ascalon City. About 6 hours ago, you guys heard the footsteps of Tiny and what you can assume to be the warband that was in chase behind you drift off into the distance. But you guys have had a long run. You have just woken up from a full rest. And that's when you decided to make this jump on to Alim. So all of you that spent spells, they are currently still spent.
Right.
But you coming back from your dimensional shift, you're feeling pretty frisky and ready to get at it, man. A little bit of a hangover, but I mean, that potato wine, it's a little bit rough on you.
I start at full health?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
I mean, I'm still at full health. I'm just.
But
Down
you
the
guys
Did I
are.
actually transform during that fight? Hold on, maybe I have my bear form back.
Maybe.
I don't think you did because you
I don't think
realized
I
you
went
weren't
there.
charmed and then casted things. And
Yeah, I
they
did
murdered
spells
her. Okay.
instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, I should have that back then. Never mind. So I do have all of my wild check shit. I got everything then, except for a spell slot.
So you guys would know that you're about a day's run from the war camp.
Mm-hmm.
Just running at the speed that you've been going, you're about 3 days from Ascalon City. You're kind of in the middle of nowhere right now. So what are you guys gonna do?
I mean, it seems really dumb to keep walking back and forth, but we should probably go back to the war camp investigate.
We did a pretty good job investigating the tent. You know, pulling books around.
Okay, but
Turning things upside down.
since you've been gone, we found out about this guy called Risnar, and that bitch that we just murdered is
wasn't it?
scared of him,
Oh.
and homegirl who just vanished knew who he was. I think, maybe ish.
You were hanging out with her?
Yeah, she's alright. She was fine. It went fine. So I don't know. I think there's more there. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'll find it.
I don't think we all know what we're looking for.
Oh, that's true.
The original purpose of this venture was to go deal with the warden.
Let's get a rant sanking, boys.
Let's go
About
ransack.
face.
But first, I'm gonna dunk into a bush and then come out with all of my regular gear on.
Okay.
Alright.
So you notice as you take off your kind of like ethereal objects, they just kind of, and also Thanos dust away. So you're just kind of realize
Neat.
as you're ripping off your
But
full
what did it
tracksuit.
cost?
Yeah. your full tracksuit is just gone.
Oh dear.
So if that's what happened where you went, Kriya's gonna come back wearing an outfit made entirely of linen.
Be ready.
It's gonna be like,
Velour.
oof, oof.
But as you pop back out of the bush, you guys, it's 3 in the morning, about 3:30.